Trial.
My hair is, I've just been through the Philadelphia experiment, and I came out the other side, not stuck to a ship.
Trial.
Okay, so anybody have any questions about?
Trial.
Not on? How can I not be on? I'm always on. I was born on. Born to be bad.
Trial.
I actually did have a question about the video that was sent out this morning.
Yeah.
It mentioned there were two German experiments that were also created using something similar for
Similar, yeah.
invisibility. Were there some of us that were?
Probably part of that, which is why it reads. Because it's like, the thing is that it's like too many people it reads on for it to
Trial.
be just the 33 or 34 people they had. You know, and I've had too many personal experiences
Trial.
with people who were involved in it for it not to have been bigger than what they quote unquote quoted it as. So the fact that, you know, like he talked about the fact that they could regress people and do all that kind of stuff. Well, let's see, we have a process called reverse aging. Is it working?
Trial.
Nope, I'm getting older day by day. And more pathetic.
Trial.
I do that well, you know, and it's like the funny part about it is I keep wanting to say I'm 88 instead of
Trial.
81, which is bizarre. I have no idea why. Maybe this is what I'm going to look like when I'm 88. Okay, good. So, so there's, you know, there's a whole lot of things in there that are fact. There's a whole lot of things in there that are not quite correct, because it's like, please always listen from what part of this feels true, what part of this feels like a lie. Because, I mean, even his memories can be altered, okay? Yeah, memories can be altered. It's one of the things I learned about people. It's like, if they say something enough times, they will alter it to make it different for them. Luckily, you've never done that, thank God. Good, okay. So who do we have as questions
We have
today?
Anthony has a question.
Mr.
Tony.
Anthony. It's Anthony.
Andy.
Hey guys, what's happening? I got a few questions here, and I'm gonna do my best to articulate them. So, is it possible that a lot of us, or some of us, he talked about like they shrunk his body?
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a walk-in.
Are you trying to explain why you're such a short, pathetic guy?
That's what Julia said. She's like, that's why we're little people. Yeah. So okay. So that is.
Well, the thing is, it's like, okay, so is that truth, or is that, you know, did they shrink his body, or did they anti-age him? They de-aged him. You know, it's like, what was the other thing we came up with? De-aged and de-timed you, okay? You know, it's like reverse aging is not aging, it's de-timing you. You know, if you allow yourself to be de-timed, then you don't function from time as the normal function of reality, okay? And you know, it's like, if any of you noticed those times when you do something and you go, how did I get this done so quick? You know, Dane and I moved into a house, and we had all of his stuff, all my stuff, all of it was in boxes, all of it was furniture. We moved into the house, we rearranged everything, and 3 days later, the house was totally done. We would go into a room together and empty boxes and have everything put away in minutes. You know, that's not the way it's supposed to be in this reality. So you gotta get time as a construct for real. And you de-time yourself, you then eliminate the necessity of this is gonna take 5 hours to get from this place to this place.
So in that instance, though, how would the de-timing? Not how. Well, all right. So what are you aware of with regards to changing his physical form to a 1-year-old body?
Well, did they do that, or did they put him into a 1-year-old body?
Yeah, that's what I got initially, but then I'm like,
it's like saying that he was put into another body would sound like grave robbing or body body snatching. And the thing is, it's like I've only met one person who was in Access who actually snatched their body from another being.
Trial.
But she's not, never mind.
So it's more like a walk-in situation then. That'd be
Trial.
more accurate.
It'd be more like a walk-in situation, but because walk-in is considered weird and what he was talking about wasn't.
Right. Okay.
Trial.
All right, cool. And then another question is, do you have to have been part of the Philadelphia experiment to be attacked from the future? Do they go hand in hand or not necessarily?
Not necessarily, okay? It depends on where you
Trial.
are in the scheme of things. Who you will be in the future may be the indication of when you need to be attacked in order to stop you from being that person.
Trial.
Wow.
See, it's like they need,
Interesting.
it's like what is going on is this, this group of, technocrats. That's like bureaucrats, but from technology. It's like they do it from a
Trial.
particular point of view, not necessarily the truth, but a point of view. And point of view creates reality, right? But if you have no reality, it's hard for them to
Trial.
create you as their point of view. You cannot be controlled, which is why I said destroy and uncreate everything you were yesterday.
Trial.
Okay?
Yeah, that's great. I'm like, God, I get so excited when I do it.
Good,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
So you gotta, it's like you gotta get that the reason you're
Trial.
excited is because it's truth. You cannot get excited about a lie.
Trial.
Wow.
Sorry, if you get excited, it's the truth. You cannot be excited by a lie. I want to have sex with that person. Doesn't work well to have sex if it's a lie.
Trial.
If that person wants to have sex with you, it's sort of like, yeah, that would be
Trial.
fun. No thanks, never mind. Okay? Does that help?
Trial.
All right. Yeah, very much. And I have a few more, if I may. With regards to body stuff, it's interesting because
Okay, well, one of the things you got to get about the body stuff is one of the
Trial.
things that we're running into. It's like when we realize that these attacks from the future are based on the same technology that they used to
Trial.
create the Philadelphia experiment. They've got a more advanced version of it now, but it's like one of the things I noticed is that people, that we have run into people who have tried to shove people into somebody's body. Okay, so they're body
Trial.
snatching. And it's like, if you actually have a sense of yourself, it's not possible for that to happen. You cannot be body snatched, okay? And I'm sorry to say this to all of you, unless you want to be snatched, you ain't going to be snatched because you have too many questions.
Trial.
You function as question, you cannot be snatched. You can only be snatched if you have no questions. Okay?
And then, so,
Trial.
okay, and then again, with regards to body stuff, like, so much of sort of the way I've created my body is in a
Trial.
very youthful way, but there are like two parts of it, at least right now, that are acting like very old. What is that? Is that part of this?
You are buying into the aging process, and what is being done to you from the future is slowly but surely
Trial.
insisting your age.
Slowly but surely what?
Insisting your age.
Insisting?
Yes, it's called this
Trial.
insisted living, yes.
It's actually insisted dying, but thank you for asking, yes.
So it's like you're being fed constantly stuff about your age, aren't you? I mean, look at TV.
I got a question.
Trial.
These awarenesses are fun to try to put into words. Okay, so when you just said that, they're constantly doing that.
Trial.
We've looked at it as though it's a quote unquote natural process, right?
Yes.
Which we know nothing about this reality is natural. Nothing about it is.
It
what
is all natural. It's organic.
And yes, it's carbon everywhere. But when you said that, so
Trial.
using aging as the example, if we did not have them continuously broadcasting this continuously and turning it up at different times and turning it down at different times, would we even have aging? If we did not.
Probably not.
So what I'm getting is this sense of, so if we look at, that's aging, that's one thing. We think that's bodies, we think that's reality, whatever.
Trial.
But look at not having the nine
Okay, hold on
trannies.
just a minute. That's
Yeah.
really important. We think that is bodies, and that bodies have a different aging than we do. which is the lie they're teaching us.
So rather than indefinite living, rather than
Trial.
embodiment as it was before
Yes.
being part of this reality.
And being able to change your body. I mean,
So,
any of you
Trial.
ever had the experience of having people say, God, have I met you before? And you go, no, I don't think so. You know, are you famous? Not yet.
Trial.
You know, I have strange answers for these people.
but if you look at, what I'm looking at is, I thought,
Trial.
I know they created programming on the Golden Planet that we have been living, DNA, et cetera, but, and one of the things we've said forever about, from the time of the Golden Planet story was, we knew there would come
Trial.
a time where their machinery would break down enough to where we could actually awaken consciousness.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys, but I just got this awareness when, in this conversation, where if what they have been broadcasting
Trial.
continuously broke down and stopped, we would not only not age anymore, but everything that we have available would be available. Or at least I'm in the question
And everything
of,
that we think we need would disappear.
Trial.
and in other words, like, we're being bombarded by this wirelessly, quote unquote, all the time. Or I'm in the question.
We all have a Bluetooth on in our head.
Trial.
Well, not only that, but it's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what we're looking at with this, using the Philadelphia experiment to create the heat wave that's currently going on the whole fucking planet
Okay.
right now.
Trial.
So, can we on 4 destroy everything that's creating the heat wave on planet Earth? Okay? All the technology that's being used, all that the Philadelphia experiment or any other
Trial.
experience is creating, can we on 4 destroy it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Trial.
Okay. Now can we have 10 inches of rain here on the ranch because we need it? The romance in it.
Over a few weeks.
Trial.
Oh, you were thinking of other things. Okay. I know how you girls work.
I don't know what I would do with the other 8 inches, but hey,
Trial.
But you're willing to
figure
find
it out.
aren't you?
That's right. Willing to
Okay.
figure it out.
You're willing to finger it out?
Oh my God! Look, a rain stick.
I've got a couple more. If that's
Oh no,
Trial.
it's a Dane stick.
Okay. What else, Anthony?
Trial.
So, okay, so he talked about, he referred to him and whoever went through that experience as sensitives.
Yes.
And does
Okay,
it sort of
how many
remind
of you know that you're
like kind of what
sensitive?
we are?
Trial.
Okay, now look, how many of you recognize different energies and know that this is not right? Something's wrong. How many of you walk into getting mugged?
Trial.
Any of you do that? Or do you go, you know what, I don't think I'll go down this street. I don't think I'll go down there. I don't think that's, I don't want to go there. Never mind. You know, or you turn someplace and you go, why did I turn? And you don't know why you turned, but you did, and you know it, and it works out beautifully, but you don't know why you turned. I did that in San Francisco one time. I turned in the wrong place, quote unquote, and just as I was going there, I could see the freeway, and the freeway off-ramp that I was supposed to be on,
Trial.
somebody's refrigerator fell off the back of their truck. Traffic didn't move for how long? 30 minutes. Okay, so I was doing the right thing, but not
Trial.
knowing why. How many of you have done the right thing so many times not knowing why,
Trial.
but actually somewhere you gotta know, but you're not willing to know because you're not allowed to know because
Trial.
that's one of the things I noticed about him. Like, did he make himself out as a courageous, fabulous person or as a victim? Why do most people see themselves as victims of this stuff rather than creators and
Trial.
possibilities of it? So everything that is times of God's doing, we destroy and create all that.
Right, wrong, good and bad,
Trial.
pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyond.
And then this obviously shows the value of who does this belong to that nobody
Trial.
seems to really use.
Use,
and
yes. Like you use it every day, all the time, right?
Not always, no.
I know.
trial,
You have a
Shit,
different
because I had this
question.
conversation with him.
How
a week ago.
pathetic am I and how real must it be? Because I am the one being it.
Yeah.
How much could it not be anybody
Trial.
else's because they made me short with electronics?
trial,
Now, that's the best response I've ever seen Anthony have.
trial,
And
Okay, and by the way, right now, you look 10 years younger than you did before. If you just like stop growing the gray beard, you'd be
Trial.
fine.
I know.
Why are you doing the
I-
fucking gray beard?
Oh no, man!
Pirate.
My lips are skinny to not have hair on it.
Cut it off.
trial,
Okay. Let me finish with my questions, and we can talk.
You're finished. Never mind.
So
We're ready for the big
I don't know.
finish. Go ahead.
There's just a couple more things. So, Dane, remember when we got to like the
Trial.
non-thing in Puerto Vallarta? Like, it wasn't like I'm struggling with something, I have no idea what it is, and like we just sort of
Trial.
explored it energetically for like 3 hours. It was awesome. So it seems like so much of this all these different dimensions.
We had our
which
clothes
can
on.
be-
Shut up. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean it's this whole I don't
Yeah.
know, would
Trial.
be more like the nucleated sphere type stuff where we begin to be able to break it down so we're not at the effect
Trial.
of the future and the past and all that other shit. Is this what we're getting to here with this?
That and a lot more. But if you look at it,
trial,
if you look at it, this, we have Who Does This Belong To? You probably heard of it.
Yeah, but don't believe it.
How
trial,
much?
If I'm thinking it's got to be mine.
How much of what you think is yours and what you think is the basis of reality is
trial,
cast by
Okay,
these
now
machines?
let's just stop for just a second. Basis. What is the basis of reality? In reality, what's the
Trial.
basis of reality?
In actuality,
In actuality, yes.
choice.
Choice is the basis of reality, not the reason and justification. When someone wrote me a text
Trial.
and they wanted to know, what is this? Does this guy have this problem because of this, this, and this? I said, what are you asking for? Do you want a reason and justification, or do you want a choice? And you gotta look
Trial.
at that yourself. You gotta look at, am I looking for a reason and justification? This person is fucked up because. Anthony's fucked up because of his mother.
trial,
Vincent is not fucked up because of his mother. But Anthony is. Anthony is still alive, Vincent is not.
trial,
So the only thing Vincent can do is blame his father. But he likes his father, so he's having a hard time trying to blame him.
trial,
But since Anthony likes to be blamed, he does everything he can to make himself the blame point. How many of you are creating yourself as the blame point? Everything
Trial.
that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. Wow.
Wow.
And when you make yourself the blame point, the cool thing is you are
Trial.
totally invalidating that somebody also has choice.
And you're totally invalidating your contribution to that choice. Because only if
trial,
you buy into it are you choosing it.
And you'll choose something with regard to sometimes
Trial.
with people, and then they will go into, I would never choose this, how could you? And yet,
I like that
Trial.
one.
that's a way of them not having to look at,
Yeah.
how did I create this?
You know, it's like
Trial.
my wife was, against me at every opportunity, okay? And it's like she was mean and nasty and, not contributive. And yet she said,
Trial.
I took the best years of her life.
To which I replied, if those were the best years, I can't imagine what the rest of her years are gonna be
trial,
like.
Yeah.
'Cause those were not nice years.
No, but she had one or two fixed points of view. Unlike all the rest of
Trial.
you have always chosen people who didn't have fixed points of view and we're willing to acknowledge how great you are.
trial,
Wow. That explains a lot of where I've tried to function as like a perfect parent because I never wanted them to be the blame point for their whatever
Yes,
failures.
in so doing, you've created you as the blame point, you stupid fuck.
trial,
I know, well,
You know, I have said this
I've
before, I will
access
say
that.
this again, okay? I'm going to say this again. If you have children, never have more than 3 rules.
Never have
trial,
what?
More than 3 rules.
Oh, 3 rules. I was like, can you give them away after 3? That's what I
trial,
thought. Never have more than 3-year-olds. I'm like,
3 rules, okay?
3 rules.
Anthony has 3 rules at night. Every night, a different 3 rules.
trial,
You just have to check the schedule on the refrigerator to see what the 3 rules are
Yeah.
that night.
You know,
Oh, it's not
Trial.
that bad.
okay, it's not that bad.
You're right. It's not that bad. It's worse.
Oh my
Trial.
God. All right, and then just one more thing. So,
I'm glad we're getting to the big finish. This is really happening.
Do I get a happy ending?
So good.
trial,
that's happy ending for sure. So how can, okay, I don't know why this was brought up after watching the video and listened to yesterday's class, but so much of, just even before I met
Trial.
you guys, there were just so many things that happened to me, like spaces that I accessed, even just from getting my bars ran, like, you know, and the
Okay,
body
so-
process.
It's bars run, past tense is of ran is
Trial.
run. Not past tense
Runs.
of ran is ran.
Okay. All right.
What?
So,
Hey, I've beaten
And
him up
then
about this
when-
fucking ran shit forever because he's always saying,
trial,
and you can ran bars. No,
I
you
got my
can't
bars
ran bars,
ran.
you can run bars.
Brooklyn and that's
And
the
I'm married to my
Brooklyn
sister.
trial,
and- That's the Brooklyn in me. All right. So
Yeah,
how
and he
can
blames
you-
his education on that. Except I've educated him about it about 27 times for the difference, and it never changes. So it ain't
What?
your education.
trial,
Come on.
Hey,
All right.
Ran is hardwired in to the
Hey,
man.
I'm trying to ask.
It's not his fault.
It's like the problem is his name is Anthony.
All right.
People call him Anthony.
trial,
Yes, go on.
Go on,
Anthony.
Ranthony.
trial,
He got his bars Ranthony.
trial,
God, you know, I told you I was a little strange this morning. Well, apparently I'm a lot more
Trial.
strange than I realized.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Andrew, is your kitchen window broken or is that something in the kitchen window?
It's a
Trial.
ladder in the kitchen window.
Oh, weird.
Oh, no, that one is broken. It has a V for vagina. I think it occurred when Diana moved in.
trial,
I think she was marking her territory.
She was marking
Her
her territory with V's. Okay, got it.
Her vagina vibration went out like the Philadelphia
Trial.
experiment itself. I was like, vagina here. And it's interesting that you notice, Gary, because usually
Trial.
only women can see it, and they know that if they walk in with their vagina intact, they will walk out without it intact. Vagina here is, yeah. Anyway,
trial,
Yeah, she's just declaring her territory. It's okay.
for those of you that can't see it,
All right.
we're really sorry, because it's a big V in the window. Made out of 2 cracks, not 1.
Last and
Trial.
final question here.
Okay, good.
So you know when you access the bars, you got the download, and Dane, when you first, you know, SOP or ESP
Trial.
universe opened up to you, and you know, and then as
Yeah.
you worked with people over the years, you know, you became more aware of spaces and energies, and how can we like
trial,
amplify that more and access even more in
Acknowledge
greater and
when you've done it. And
Yep.
acknowledge when you do
trial,
it.
And
okay.
don't require definition of it.
nor
Trial.
explanation of it. See, you're trying to find the reason and justification for what gets you there, rather than, well, wow, I got here.
Trial.
How the fuck did I get here?
Yep. And where did I get?
Yep.
And
Trial.
Where am I?
What
And
else
who the
can
fuck
that be
am I
and do?
today? Who
What
the
else?
fuck am I today, and where the fuck am I, and what the fuck is going on? This is,
And-
you know, you're in the fuckowie tribe.
Trial.
You know, the tribe of Indians called the fuckowis. Where the fuckowis? Who the fuckowis? Why the fuckowis?
And so how can we use this to even just to
Trial.
everything that we are?
Well, that's by acknowledging it, because you want to step into more. But what you got to realize is stop assuming that you have a point of view that you don't have.
Trial.
Okay?
Okay.
And don't take points of view. Be willing to question what's going to create greater. You know, you got a 15-year-old daughter and you're telling me she can't use her electronics
Trial.
after 9 o'clock. You want to fight? Tell a girl over 15 that she can't have
Trial.
something. You cannot have a penis. Want to bet? She'll get one. In a heartbeat.
Trial.
Okay, I'm not allowed to have sex, I'm gonna have sex. You know, but you don't realize you were the same
Trial.
way. What were you told you couldn't have and you went out and got? Yeah, so why do you expect your kid to be different than you?
Trial.
Yeah. I guess I was trying to make them better.
Trial.
Yeah, well,
Better-
that's because you don't know how good you are, because you don't wanna know.
Yeah.
How many of you don't wanna know how good you are, because if you were as good as you were, and you knew as you were as good as you were, you wouldn't be able to live as pathetic as
Trial.
you choose. Everything that is times a godzillion will be destroyed and uncreated all.
Right and wrong, good
Trial.
and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds.
And then is that where it goes back to just trying to be normal when you're not
Trial.
willing to recognize how good you really are?
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, this man had a choice to be normal by going back to his old life and living there.
Right.
Trial.
And he chose instead to move into 1984 and forget his past life. Now, they obviously have ways of erasing, you know, erasing memories and all that kind of stuff. How often do you erase your memories?
Trial.
And especially of the good things you do. The bad things you do, you will remember forever. The good things you do, no memory, can't remember that. I didn't do that. Did I do that?
Trial.
No, not me. Everything that is times a godzillion. We destroy and uncreate all that.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, poveds.
But
Trial.
you gotta realize, like, TV is a programming system. Programming system, okay? These are programming systems, folks. They're
Trial.
designed to program you.
They even call it programs. We'll be right back with our normal programming. It's like, oh, okay, can't wait for it to be programmed.
Trial.
Okay. Tell me what I'm supposed to think and feel. Jesus.
You know, and you look for how you can be like, or how you can be liked, and those 2 points of view
Trial.
keep you living like other people. Why don't you choose to live like you would like to choose? I do. I live the way I want to live. You know, I mean,
Trial.
Brett in Georgia moved into Schultz, the Leave It to Beaver house
One of
If you
our
get a chance.
Airbnbs right down the
Yeah.
street.
that you should go visit, because it's like literally walking into
Trial.
1958.
And
That's
he
when the
would
house
know.
was built.
He was there.
What?
Trial.
I was there. I lived 1958. And the things that I thought were fun about it, I put into
Trial.
the house. The things that were not fun about it, I didn't put in the house. You know, because there were a lot of really ugly things that they did
Trial.
in those days. You know, have you sat in all the chairs in the living room?
Not in all of them.
You just got to sit in all of them. They're all unique, and they're all special, and they're all
I
comfortable.
love when he
Trial.
says something like that, like, you were supposed to. Like, didn't you know?
I only said
Like,
two,
in the little
Trial.
Airbnb book, step one, sit in all the chairs.
Yeah,
Step
but
two,
you see, the
tell us what
difference
you
is,
think.
for me, when I go into a house, I'll sit in all the
Trial.
chairs because I want to see which ones are comfortable.
Which is why we
Although-
don't take him to other people's houses anymore.
Yeah.
Trial.
Hey, I
Put
didn't
a
say I
limit
was going to
somewhere.
shit on him.
What's Gary doing? I'm like, don't worry, he's got a little bit of autism.
Trial.
This is how he makes himself comfortable. He sits in every chair to check it out, and then we're
Until I
okay. We'll
find
be
the
all
one I
right.
like the best.
By the way, don't talk to him yet. Wait till he's done with the whole process.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Gary's my autistic older child.
Trial.
My older autistic child. I am my older autistic child.
Trial.
Okay, better, Anthony? Good. He still didn't like it. Did you look how old he wanted
See
to
the-
look? Okay.
No,
David?
no, that's joy for Anthony.
Trial.
Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about the look on the face. Inside,
Trial.
inside where it really counts.
David next.
So in this interview, when the guy talked about how he ended up in 1983 and he was welcomed, we were waiting for you.
Trial.
The way that he explained how that traveling between time works, you match up that sequence, and then you just it so
Trial.
makes sense. But if it really worked, why do they still struggle then? That was my. If they really can, is it not
Trial.
developed enough yet to get them what they want, or are they not?
Trial.
Sorry. Shouldn't eat cherry beans. while working.
Trial.
They're not the only ones with this technology, right?
Yeah.
So. I
So
would
that-
assume if one thing happens,
Trial.
change something else. I'm surprised you can't really hear me.
There are
Trial.
people around the world.
So David, to your comment, if they go in and make a change or change something, somebody else can go in and make a change and change something else, right? It's just this pyramid
Trial.
of bullshit.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. We live in a pyramid of bullshit. What bullshit do you want to buy? Now,
Trial.
there's a clear pyramid next door. What about that one? No, we'll go
Trial.
with where everybody else is going. What we're trying to offer here with Access is a
Trial.
place where you can go to a clarity where you don't buy into this shit and you don't become the effect of it.
So that
The fact that it
Trial.
can be done is a fact. That's it. Doesn't mean anything. Facts are not reality. Your choice to create the fact as a fact that cannot be changed is a reality. That's how you create
Trial.
reality. That's your method of creating reality.
So that it can be done,
Yeah.
that it is physically possible within the universe.
That it's energetically possible.
You hopefully have more awareness of now.
Trial.
Because if the government can do it, hello.
yeah, but if they can force it into existence with technology, it must exist
Trial.
naturally. Otherwise, they couldn't.
Right.
So is
See, it's like we
conscious-
always think we need to duplicate technology, but technology is trying to duplicate us.
So is that technology trying to duplicate consciousness?
No. It's trying to duplicate answer. Never question.
Trial.
Also trying to
And he
gain.
didn't question what he got out of it. He told you the facts, and it was very
Trial.
interesting and very boring all at the same time. Did any of you notice? I mean, I was like, God, this guy's so boring.
Trial.
Get to some interesting part. You know, and he bypasses the part where they got glued into
Trial.
the thing as though that was nothing.
And we cut his
You got-
hand off and gave him a new hand. Okay.
They
That
gave
was
him
the
the
other
hand later.
That was the other question. I
Trial.
mean, if whatever they did turns out to melt together,
Trial.
or melt a human being into metal, then you can reverse it. If it works one way, it has to work the other way.
Trial.
Is that
No, that's not what they were saying. They
not
were
what they
trying
were
to tell
saying.
you that once that happens, people die. You go one direction, the people die. You go another direction, people live.
trial,
You jump into 1983, you do this. You know, he talked about his friend who jumped off the boat to jump into the water to just disappear. Yeah. But, you know, it's like there are lots of people. You will
trial,
find people that function in very strange ways. And notice that about the middle of his
Trial.
conversation, he got to the point where he seemed to be randomly going off in tangents. Was that randomly going off in tangents, or had he lost the thread?
trial,
And why had he lost the thread? Because the target that he was shooting for was not being achieved, and
trial,
they were no longer able to control him the way they had before. He was only allowed to say as much as they would allow him to say.
trial,
Then suddenly the AI kicked in and go, no, don't go there. No, don't go there. No, don't go there.
so he was
Always.
controlled when he did
Yeah,
this?
he was controlled.
trial,
And you guys think he's not being controlled? You know, but the governments, our governments and stuff do a lot of strange things all the time. Okay? Now, what Hitler did was,
trial,
you know, eugenics, or it wasn't eugenics. It was death camps.
trial,
He called it eugenics because it was about improving the species. Nothing about it was improving the
Trial.
species. Everything was about destroying people. You know, it's like it was destroying people, and that's all he did. You know, but he did all kinds of experimentation. All
Trial.
of his guys did experimentation. It was crazy shit they did. You think our government isn't doing that? Are you aware that they used to set off atom bombs where
trial,
when the airwaves were going to a certain area in Utah so that they could
Trial.
see the long-term effect of radiation on people?
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah. It-
Yeah,
it
just
was
look at
Mormons,
Utah
don't
for
care.
that awareness.
trial,
You know, but they didn't state that. They didn't tell anybody that. They didn't show it. And there were a bunch of people who were making movies at that time because it was a good time to be in Utah to make movies because it was the right, you know, it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. It was just
Trial.
right. And they would use that, and all those people died of cancer.
Yeah, they call it
Okay.
Winders.
Yeah.
trial,
You know, and it's like, it's just crazy. But these are the kind of things that our government does, and they don't tell you, they don't warn you, they don't give you a choice, they just do
trial,
it. So you gotta get that whatever's going on, this is already in existence, okay? So
trial,
don't buy a point of view. You know, like they tried to sell the pandemic.
trial,
How'd that work? Oh, it worked. Just don't buy it for the second round. And the third round,
trial,
yeah.
You also mentioned yesterday it is very important now
Trial.
to know no form, no structure, no significance.
Yes.
And then there is this, I don't know, this big dark cloud of
trial,
future hanging there, and then
Why is it dark?
I
trial,
don't want to live in a world that controlled. That's if just
Yeah, but why is the future you're
Trial.
looking at dark and
well, if you are aware of what is occurring, what is going on under the carpet,
trial,
Yes, but if you're aware, you're aware. If you're aware that this kind of stuff is
Trial.
going on, is it under the carpet, is it black? It's not oil.
so it's about just being
trial,
aware, not buying the lie.
Not buying the lie is what it's about. Never buy a lie. Always ask a question. Is this true? Is It's real.
trial,
And what can I be to change it?
Yeah. What can I be or do to change, and what did I create that allows it to exist?
And everything that you created that allows it to exist, we destroy and uncreate all, please.
Yeah.
Times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good,
Trial.
bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, po, beds, and beyond.
Oh, can I? Not that short. I'm not
trial,
Anthony. So you said to me a little while ago, Gary, too, about when I was looking at the control, right, conclusion
Trial.
thing, and you said control better. And
Yeah.
what I got, like, as you control better, there is no
Trial.
rightness, there is no result, there's no reason, justification, there's no conclusion. So what if we controlled better than they?
Well, that's what
Trial.
we could. But David wants to think that it's black and hidden. Just because it's black and hidden doesn't mean it's up your ass.
Even though that's your... Oh,
Trial.
oh.
And now he's up.
So that I see this as
Trial.
black, isn't it? That's already a point of view. It's already
That's
part
already a
of the
point of view. It's what you do to cut off your awareness.
It's also what you do
Trial.
to make it happen
Yeah.
that way.
Okay, tell me more.
trial,
Only
love
your
that way.
alignment and agreement with it makes it go continuously in the direction it's going.
Yep. Do you have any power?
So the, oh my God, it's a danger.
You're not gonna ask his question, answer his
Trial.
question?
Sorry. Can you
No,
say it
you're
again?
not. You didn't want to answer that question.
I heard it, yes.
trial,
What's the question?
Do you have any power?
Yes.
Little or a lot?
A lot.
Or megaton of lattes?
Or are you trying to prove you have none? How many of you are trying to prove you are a none
Trial.
by having none? Everything that is times the godzillion, we destroy and create it all.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, po, beds, and beyond.
trial,
Hey, the Germans did this too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps...
I have no idea.
von Kubis? Herr von Kubis?
trial,
So
Of Auschwitz?
trial, trial,
So the power is to,
The real power is the willingness to see all
Trial.
things and have no point of view. See, it's like with Henry, it's like he's probably taken us for $1 million in the last 10 years.
trial,
But rather than seeing that, he tries to take us for more all the time. And in so doing, he returned our horses. We sent our
Trial.
horses that were at El Lugar for 1 month to Henry's place to put them up so that they would be fed and taken care of because we were tearing the barn down that they were in. I told them not to
Trial.
do that. They didn't listen to me. And what he did is he starved our horses while we were there, and they all came back 300 pounds lighter, which was gross,
trial,
And it's like, and he thought he would get away with it.
trial,
And his justification, well, they got sick. No horse
All
gets
of
sick
them?
and gets sick and loses 300 pounds in 1 month. And first of all, you call a fucking vet or something.
trial,
He was getting paid $400 a piece for each one of them. But his wife wanted to go out and have her tits done again, I think. Her
trial,
tits were sagging a little bit, you need to have them replaced when they start to sag. Kidding.
trial,
Okay. God, I'm glad somebody took all those shirts. Thank you.
trial,
Some of them, yeah, I found them there this morning. Some people took them, but
Okay.
we still have some more.
Okay, good.
If anyone
Put them out
else-
so anybody,
trial,
yeah. And you girls can just wear them and you just have to wear a bra
Trial.
underneath it because you can pop the top button. And you look styling, man. You go on in
Trial.
cowboy boots to a bar here with that and you'll be having boys taking you home.
David's gonna try and fit in.
trial,
Yeah. Yes.
Would it be Would it be helpful to, I'm wondering, did they mean to
Trial.
get people stuck in the walls of the ship, or is it because they lack that organic precision? Sorry,
Well,
the
you-
techies love their form and their structure.
Yes,
Love
but
it.
the thing
Trial.
is, they didn't have it, they knew it was not working right, but they didn't care, they wanted to test it.
Trial.
Here. And
So if the people got stuck in it, it was okay, it was worth it for the greater good.
got it. So would it, like, perhaps they were trying to utilize some sort of
Trial.
frequency in the humans that were sensitive?
No,
No? Like they were trying to maybe use the scalar energy of the organ?
No.
And
they were
didn't care
doing
how
what
it
they
happened.
could and finding out by what they did,
Trial.
what the result would be. And a certain number of deaths is acceptable.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, they didn't care. It's like, it's like, yes, but if this
Trial.
works, then we'll win the war. And that'll save way many more lives than the lives we take by this
Trial.
process.
Right. So would it be helpful for us to remember that they don't have that ability
It'd
to,
be helpful for you to remember that you have an ability to destroy what they're capable of doing.
of course?
Trial.
That's the thing you gotta get, is like with a question alone, you can destroy much of what they do.
Trial.
That's the value of having questions. That's the value of living as a question. That's the value of
Trial.
never buying into the point of view and always be willing to question it.
Right. And staying out of form, structure, and
Trial.
significance.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
their only way of operating.
Well, that's the primary way in which they keep you
Locked.
locked into the big five,
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Trial.
you. Okay, online. We have two online and then Kalpana.
All right,
Trial.
we have 3 online.
Okay.
We have Hillary.
Hillary? Yes, darling?
Trial.
Hello.
So I watched that Hello, beautiful people. Actually, firstly, Dane, can I say thank you so much? Because I had so many points of view about guns. And watching you on that stage, yes, you brought me
Trial.
with your guns. Honestly, it just brought a whole different reality. You were so childlike and boyish. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. I realized I wanted to share my joy with people.
Trial.
And I'm
And it was so
stupid.
joyful. It just changed my whole point of view about guns. I want to go and get guns and play with them.
Trial.
Yep,
Now we're talking.
you have made him a
Thank you.
success. One person got it.
I tell you what, next time I'm on the ranch, please
Trial.
take me shooting.
Deal. It's a plan. Thank you.
So I watched the program this morning, and then I went out for a walk in my local park.
Trial.
And it's actually the Marconi first ever broadcasting mast in this park.
Trial.
Yeah.
And there's always been like, it's closed down, it's no longer in use. But when I walked past it today, I
Trial.
was sort of really asking questions, and just tapping into the energy, especially like with this class and
Trial.
and there was just such a different energy of what this mast was sort of showing me. I couldn't quite get to sort of what the awareness was or what the
Trial.
question, but there was something around time, like the broadcasting around time, what you were talking about. So I was just wondering if you could just talk
Well,
a
that's
little
what
bit
we were
more
talking about with the de-timing
Yes.
thing, the de-timing.
Trial.
It's like if we de-time ourselves, we keep trying to see that we're stuck in time.
Yeah.
One of
so
the
I
things
get
they
that-
were doing is showing us that they could that they
Trial.
could take you out of time and put you in another time. And you have that ability.
Trial.
Yeah, so that was
You know,
it. Like there was something
yeah.
around that with this mast that
Sorry.
was sort of bringing awareness.
Back to Dane.
And then
Trial.
I was explaining to Monica that a mast is
Trial.
English pirate speak for tower. So the mast was the tower. That's all.
Actually,
It's a tower, not a
Monica,
mosque.
Monica has
Trial.
seen the mast when she came to my house, Monica and Allison.
You saw the
It
mast.
looked like, the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Her eyes have been opened.
Thank you.
Trial.
Now you know what you saw. You saw the mast.
And you thought it was just a
Trial.
tower. It was a mast. We're just teasing about English and English, okay?
Yes.
American
Trial.
and English are two different languages. And Aussie is the
And then
third
there's
language.
Australian. Mm-hmm.
Trial.
Yeah, and then I was just sort of asking the question about like what, using things, like how to use
Trial.
this to our advantage of, if there was a way of like with using
Trial.
it for greater consciousness.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Trial.
Yeah.
So if you know this, do you have to become the effect of what everybody else is doing?
Trial.
So I get yes.
Uh-oh.
No.
Trial.
Just because
Yes,
you
no.
perceive the blackness doesn't mean you can be turned into oil. No, sorry, that was mixing things up. Just because David perceives the blackness doesn't
Trial.
mean you need to be the effective. No.
Yeah,
Just because you're aware of it doesn't mean you have to be the effect of it. In fact, the opposite is true.
Trial.
When you're aware of it, you
Yeah.
don't have to be the effect of it.
see, it's like one
Yeah.
of the things I was talking about Liam about in Costa Rica, they have regular time and Tico time. He said he was trying to teach these guys how to put these things together,
Trial.
and he couldn't teach them. They couldn't learn it. They couldn't figure out what the fuck he was talking about.
Trial.
So he said, then I just put it together and I said, take this off and replace with this, and they could do that. I said, yes, because they learn by seeing, they don't learn by intellect.
Trial.
Right.
Some people learn by intellect, some people learn by seeing. If you are one who sees
Trial.
and one who
I'm more-
has senses,
Yeah.
you have a different way of seeing the world, you have a different way of functioning in
Trial.
the world. You don't need to be the effect of everybody who sees it one way.
Trial.
Cool. Okay, that's cool. Because I'm definitely more with vision.
Yeah.
You know,
You're a
Trial.
I was
visual
watching
learner, you're a visual learner and a sensitive, not a normal person.
No, I'm sensitive. And you've talked, Gary, about environmental sensitivity.
About what?
You've talked in the past on a call about environmental sensitivity.
Yes. You know, it's like,
Could you just,
do you go to places and feel
Trial.
the bad vibes of it?
yeah,
Yeah. What creates that?
Trial.
One thing, awareness.
yeah,
You know, I was in real estate. I could walk into a house and I knew instantaneously
Trial.
whether that house would sell or would be torn down.
yeah.
And if it's sold,
Trial.
it's sold to somebody who had the same level of sensitivity as the house had.
I like that.
And I wouldn't want to know those people, so I didn't bother to go visit.
Trial.
Cool. Okay, great. I've got the awareness now.
Trial.
Thank
Well,
you.
it's like, have you ever walked into a house where you know there are ghosts? Okay, there's ghosts here.
all of my,
Yeah, it's like, it's called England.
Trial.
Yeah, you know, everybody in England thinks that when they die, they'll become a ghost in their house to haunt others.
Trial.
You know, it's like, why the fuck would that be not boring for you, is what my point of view is. I would be too
Trial.
bored being a ghost. There's just not enough to do.
I've got a very persistent one living in this house
Trial.
right now. He's a bugger.
Ask him to show you where the money is.
Yeah, no, we've asked a few questions. I had a chat with Shannon about it.
Good.
Trial.
So that's the way you get around it.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's coming round.
Cool. All right. Anything else
Thank
there?
you.
Thank you.
No,
Next.
thank
Who's
you.
next?
Trial.
Liam.
Yes,
Bramley.
Mr. Liam. Hello,
I
Liam
think
and
Norm-
Chloe. How are you?
I think Norma was first. She was waiting before us.
Trial.
Shut up and talk, goddammit.
Okay.
When I call on you, you deliver.
Yes, sir.
Trial.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's not a question, it's just some information that I found going down
Okay,
the rabbit
good.
hole.
Trial.
The Philadelphia experiment is under
Trial.
like the umbrella of this thing called the Montauk Project. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
heard of it. You have?
Well, yeah,
Trial.
I've heard of it, but, you know, it's like, what I was looking for is this thing that, realizing that the technology they use in that thing is what allows them to do the attacks from the
Trial.
future and allows them to do stuff on the earth now that they're getting away with because none of us are questioning it. And it's like, I look at the
Trial.
heat wave and I go, what the fuck? Why is that happening? You know, and it's like, I learned long ago that I can call weather.
Trial.
I can talk to weather and I can have it come. You know, and it's like, and I
Trial.
can't get the rain to come. What's going on? Too many people are in agreement with what they're putting out. And it's like we have to have the place where we don't do agreement, where we,
Trial.
you know, where we acknowledge and go, yeah, and this is where we can make a change. And make a change where we
Trial.
can.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
Have I seen Stranger Things?
Trial.
Some of
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah.
series. The entirety of that is based off of the Montauk Project.
Yep.
Trial.
Like even the chair and stuff, like it's all based off that. They also have
Trial.
had, it started in 1964, but it's interesting because the Philadelphia experiment, it's like, there's like a thing where it's like, that messed up. The energy that was created around the Philadelphia experiment
Trial.
was messing with the technology in the 1960s, even though it happened in 43. They created that to go back, to change it, to then go back forward to not be the effect of it, to go back to
Trial.
not
Which
be the effect of it.
just melted a whole lot of time.
Yeah. And there's another part I was going to say that was quite interesting.
Trial.
Yeah, so they could do spontaneous object creation as well, where you basically sat in the chair,
Trial.
called the Montauk chair, and it was like the same in Stranger Things.
Trial.
But if you visualize an object like a watch or a gun, they would show up around base, and depending on like how strong
Trial.
the signal was, they would either stay there until the machine was turned off, or they would stay there permanently even after the machine was turned off. But people were manifesting like buildings and everything basically.
Yes, that's because time is not
Trial.
real, okay? And it's like, and everything is created and there's multiple realities.
Trial.
And we've got to live like this and recognize the multiple realities. Otherwise, we're dead,
Trial.
okay?
But they built 1964, they built a 120-foot dish to try and penetrate human consciousness, and they were able to make people cry,
Trial.
get angry, and go sleepy.
Yeah,
And then
that's emotions. That's not consciousness.
yeah, and then they tried to do it on like large groups of people at once. But they started running into problems where they started transmitting false realities, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yep, and that worked. Not.
It doesn't. Yeah, I just
Trial.
wanted to
It works
share
on
that.
some people.
I can say that if
You
you
know,
want.
you used to, in the 70s and 80s,
Trial.
you used to watch people walking the street talking to themselves. They weren't talking to themselves. There was somebody with them. But that's what it created, was that place.
Trial.
It didn't create because they thought emotions were what people are.
Trial.
How many of you are basing your lives on your emotions? Other than Anthony.
Trial.
Apparently I'm railing on Anthony today. Go
That,
on.
that was it. I just wanted to
Thank
share
you.
that.
Thank you.
The one thing as well, actually, Dane, with your explanation of that thing yesterday, I was thinking last night, if this is like the best they've got, it's so shit.
Yep.
For the tech level of technology and like how advanced and all this stuff is, it's like the worst that it can do to you is like, oh, I feel pretty shit right now.
Yep, you are correct.
Way. But it's like, if this is the best they've got, we're fucking unstoppable. They're
That's
trying to run
correct.
us off my
That is correct, and that's the part you guys gotta get. You're unstoppable. Now stop letting people stop you. What are you trying to prove by letting yourself be stopped?
Trial.
I don't get
compared to us and like our beings, it's like it's not the computer from Lucy that like is an organic structure. It's a fucking Tamagotchi that they're trying to be like sad.
Yep.
It's a fucking cell phone, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I spoke to my grandmother last night, and she's like been dying for the last, I don't know, 6 months, 12 months. And she's got dementia. And she had this lucid moment. I haven't been speaking to her at all, and I just thought after yesterday, I thought I'm just going to give Grandma a call. And she had this lucid moment where she's like, "Don't go to the dark side." Like,
Trial.
what was that, Grandma? So, do you know what the dark side is? Like, why don't you tell me, Grandma? She's like, they're bringing Hitler back. So you had it with my grandma. Don't go to the dark side.
Trial.
What's that?
No. Bill Gates.
What?
Right.
Feel his energy. Feel Trump's feel Trump's energy. More like Mussolini. You know.
Trial.
And equally as pugnacious. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought it was Trump as well.
Nope. Bill Gates. Now he owns the world.
Trial.
He owns a lot of the farmland in the US.
Yeah.
A lot.
And he's putting it all in the genetically altered materials. And they're trying the new thing, which is to put the modification of RNA into vegetables.
Trial.
So if you eat vegetables, you'll get vaccinated. Yeah. And in the animals and the meat too.
Trial.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for access in general.
Okay. Thank
Wow,
you, Liam.
there could be just a few 100,000 people left on the
Okay,
planet
Calvin
if they
is
get their
next.
way.
Trial.
Calvin is next. Sorry.
Trial.
And then one online and then you.
About
Trial.
the Great Awakening documentary that you asked us to watch.
Yeah.
And they show the thing of China
Trial.
defacing and also the Mercola that his bank got, like his assets got frozen. With all of that, is that the question? Like,
Trial.
what can we be to change this, or what is?
What is this really? What is this really? You know, like
Trial.
the guy that was the mercenary that Putin hired to release all the
Trial.
convicts to.
Yeah.
Who they've now put back into society so they can go do the same thing they did before, they go back to jail. It's like
Trial.
he was going to go against Putin because he thought he was greater than he.
Yeah.
So his plane just crashed.
Trial.
He's dead? Putin never does that kind of thing. Like always.
Trial.
Why don't people notice? Is my question. Why don't you notice these things?
Trial.
Yeah.
Instead, oh well is the best you can do. You don't have enough intelligence to get out of bed. Fucking die.
Trial.
Just to give you awareness of. And with the thing with the bricks, about
Yeah.
them doing this other thing. Yes, it could mean World War III. That is one option.
Trial.
But what can we do to change it?
Yeah, so also yesterday when you were saying you're aware of different potential futures.
Yeah.
And these are all just potential futures.
Yeah.
And the more
They're
we-
not solid futures, they're potential futures.
So the more
But
we
the
are.
one thing that they didn't have with the Montauk and with the
trial,
Philadelphia experience, they didn't have the understanding of multiple futures. Now, they were given that awareness by the stuff that didn't work and about the people that disappeared. But they
Trial.
didn't make that relevant. That can't be relevant. Because the only thing that matters is their point of view. I don't even think their point of view
Trial.
matters, personally, but I don't think my point of view matters. It's just interesting.
trial,
Because it's just interesting, something else is possible.
So being even more interesting point of view and
Yeah.
like what you said, like question destroys,
Yes.
like
trial,
that energy.
It destroys AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being the question will destroy the AI.
trial,
So if
And it
you,
will take away its ability to influence you
yeah. So if you,
at all.
if you would watch like that
Trial.
documentary through the eyes of this reality, you would go into reaction or
Yeah,
alignment.
which is what they want
Yeah.
in order to get you back into the big five.
Yeah,
trial,
okay. So what question can we be?
What the fuck is this shit?
And what can we be and do
Yeah.
trial,
to change this, but also what can we be and do to create the world?
That.
And create a world
Trial.
that's worth living in.
Yeah.
Because this one,
Not so interesting.
it's not so interesting.
trial,
I
And
mean,
we have more creative energy in our little finger
Yeah.
than the entire government has, with all of its highly overpriced
Yeah.
electromagnetic RF broadcasting
Trial.
bullshit. And so, I mean, if you, how do I say this in the right way? Just looking at
trial,
some of the things they've done to try to stop us, every time they try, it gives us more awareness and makes us more powerful.
Yeah.
Every single fucking time.
you know, every time we've been attacked, we
Trial.
become more aware of how phenomenal we really are because they need to attack us.
And we get greater.
trial,
Well, I do. I just step up. And Dane does too, you know, and we all do. So you just gotta be willing to recognize, okay, what else can I do? If they think I'm that big a threat, I
Trial.
gotta be threatening. How can I be as threatening as I really am?
Thank you for that one.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
thank you.
trial,
Okay, Nirmada.
Hello.
trial,
Hello. Hello.
Hi there.
Can you
So,
hold just 1 minute?
trial,
Brett, if you could do this each time, put the next person that's up on the big screen here, then I'll call them and you won't have to. And it'll
Trial.
make things easier on us. Thank you. Yes, go on.
So
trial,
with this class, honestly, you probably could fund the rest of El Lugar if everybody
Trial.
forked up the $1 they owe you for every time you were right and they thought you were.
$5, not one.
Well, it used to be one,
Inflation.
and so,
Inflation.
trial,
well, so I'm just saying,
Yeah, I know. I
trial,
don't disagree
And-
with you.
and you know, I just have a couple of comments and I do have some questions, but I'm perplexed by when that guy
Trial.
was talking, saying about how like the government holds all these secrets, but the people in the government are so
Trial.
fucking dumb. They're not even smart enough to hold a secret. Like what? It doesn't make sense to me.
They think they're smart, so they create something as a secret and then they tell somebody.
trial,
If you tell one person, it will get out there,
trial,
okay? I'm sorry, you want to keep a secret? Don't tell anybody. I have a secret I need to tell you. Okay, good. I have a secret, I gotta keep this, I can't keep it anymore, I gotta tell somebody. You know, that's just
Trial.
how mankind is.
So will you say more about today's secret becomes
Trial.
tomorrow's lie?
Yeah. You know, it's like what they did with the Montauk secret is they tried to create it as a secret. And what it did is they started lying about it in order to make it keep having no
Trial.
relevance. Want to do a lie? Make it infinite. Nobody's going to notice.
Trial.
Okay. I thought it's very interesting, Dane, that the next 3 months that you're doing
Trial.
is the Monsters of Futures.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
How odd.
I know. I just,
No,
He
it'd be
always
nice
does
if-
that without having any awareness of anything.
Exactly.
Trial.
The good news is you can still come out of all of this okay and be a total idiot. Just want you to know. A lot of you are trying to be perfect. You're
Trial.
not. Don't worry about it. I just realized this morning I have so many fucking blind spots on things because of points of view things I don't want to see. Like, Jesus Christ.
Trial.
And yet, I'm happy. I'm changing the world. I'm a fucking happy idiot
Trial.
changing the world. And I'm so fucking stupid. I could tell you, but it would bore you. But let me just say, so fucking stupid. Also, so
Trial.
fucking bright. So fucking brilliant, so fucking miraculous, and so fucking stupid. Just want to acknowledge that. Okay,
Trial.
like so.
And if you
like,
all
so
start
stupid.
to function from that, you'll all get better.
So
holy shit,
helpful.
then what does that make us?
What's that?
I said, God, then what does that make us?
Well, yeah, but it's not even a comparison. You're
Trial.
like as
I know.
uber stupid as you are, and nobody can compare to your level of stupidity. And just realize it. That nobody can compare to your level of stupidity. And also, nobody can compare to your level of
Trial.
brilliance. But we keep trying to be perfect. We keep trying to prove that we don't have any of these limitations. No, I don't want to be this thing. That's bad in consciousness. And so you hide it from yourself, and now it's a
Trial.
blind spot everywhere you're doing it. Everywhere you won't see something that shows you that you are that, or shows you that you're getting that result, or not getting that result. You won't look at any aspect of it, and it's us keeping ourselves blind
Trial.
that is keeping us from being as miraculous as we actually are. Everything that is times a gazillion, all the big
Right
five,
and wrong, good
Trial.
and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys.
and all the
boys, beyonds.
Philadelphia experiment and experience you've been using to maintain your blindness and your blind spots.
Trial.
And maintaining that appropriately.
We destroy and uncreate all that.
Times a
Right
gazillion,
and wrong,
right,
good
bad,
and
all
bad,
nine.
pod and all nine, shorts, boys, boys, and beyonds.
Wow, that's funny,
Trial.
because Simone was Speedy Gonzalez on our last, go round where we were pod and pocking together. Now you're at the
Trial.
speed I used to be at, and now I'm having trouble slowing down. Dear Lord. Always have to dance in a different speed to the different drummer.
But,
Trial.
speaking of brilliance and then like stupidity, when Gary asked just yesterday
Trial.
about like what would you change in the past, and when you said that you'd go and on the
Trial.
golden planet you'd kill all the techies, I was like, I realized how
Trial.
small I've been, like behaving, acting, choosing. Like
Yeah.
I said, I would not have the assassination of someone, and you.
Trial.
So what is required to just keep?
You're
choosing?
still trying to look at what's right and what's wrong.
Okay.
You are
Trial.
a moralist without realizing it.
What?
You are a morality police without
Trial.
recognizing it.
Holy shit! What does that mean?
You
What
have
else
to
is possible?
determine what is right or wrong to determine what you will choose or what you cannot choose, rather than what's going to change
Trial.
things the most. You're not looking for change, you're looking for morality, the right and wrong of it.
Oh my God! Well, this is
And
like
as long as you're looking for right and wrong, all you can do is judge you and everybody else.
So thank you. I'm like,
Trial.
I'll have to re-listen to that. And what is the way out of that to change.
Interesting
Trial.
point of view.
Oh. Wow. Oh my God, I just,
Trial.
okay, I'm having a little aha
moment.
moment. Well, I hadn't realized that interesting point of view well, obviously it includes you, but I hadn't realized
Trial.
until now it includes what you choose.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Trial.
that makes me want to cry.
Trial.
Okay.
Yes, okay. I have some other questions. Thank you for that, by the way.